Hi, welcome to today's Q&A. Now today's an interesting one, Con. What's this HiiP and ELDT, ABCD? What is this?
Well, the question is very simple, honey. What we've done is a whole series of videos on how to maximize fat burning. Because when people try and transform, they build their muscle, right? But you're never going to see it unless you get rid of that fat. There are things that we can do to assist in the reduction of body fat and the maximize of muscle tone. We have a protocol that we call HiiP, and HiiP stands for High Intensity Interval Programs, and all our programs, all our workouts involve that, right? And the other one is called ELDT, and ELDT is extended long duration training. Right, now they're the two.
So with the HiiP, then you're talking about high intensity there, so I'm assuming if it's high intensity, you're not going to be going for a long period of time.
When you want to promote fat burning, if you exert a lot of energy, like if you're doing something that's really, really hard, you really can't do it for long. So if you're going to pick something that's really hard, the HiiP routines will actually promote muscle growth, muscle tone. But the trick with that is your weight's got to be heavy, you've got to move continually, you want to minimize your rest, and you want to do enough volume over a short period of time to maximize your results. So if you can go on and on and on, the intensity is too light and the weight's not heavy enough and you're having too much rest. If you do what I'm saying to you, you're going to build a beautiful physique underneath the fat.
But sorry, can I just go back to the HiiP then? So with the HiiP then, you would assume that you burn a certain amount of calories when you're doing the workout, but that it would elevate your metabolic rate. So when you finish the workout, you're going to burn more fat for longer.
If you destroy muscle whilst you're working out, when you finish, guess what your body has to do? It has to repair it. In order to do that, your metabolic rate will increase. And your metabolic rate is the rate at which you burn calories at rest over time. So if your intensity is high, your body's always going to have housekeeping to do. It's like being really messy in the house and you knock things over all the time and then Nikki has to come in and pick it up. She's going to burn more fat she's doing it. Whereas me, I'm just going to sit there and enjoy, watching her actually do it. The calories you'll burn are not actually during, you'll burn some, but most will be after.
That's right.
The second routine we refer to is ELDT, extended long duration training.
Yeah.
Now what we're doing with that is that at rest, guys, right, like me and Nikki sitting here now, 60% on average of the energy that we're consuming to stay alive now is coming from our stored body fat. It's trickling into our bloodstream. If we keep our heart rate at below about 75% of our max, which means take 220, deduct your age, you'll get a number. Multiply that number by 75%, and that represents, on average, a heart rate you do not want to exceed for this extended long duration training. And let's say it's 125 beats per minute. That means you need to do an activity for at least 90 minutes at just below that heart rate to maximize fat burning. Also, anything that's long duration is not hard, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, it's sustainable. So even though it sounds like a long time, 90 minutes, you will be able to do it because of the intensity.
So what can you do for 90 minutes that's not hard?
You can go for a walk.
What are the benefits of walking as opposed to running? Because running is going to take your heart rate above that.
Yeah, running. Yeah, but running you also have all the impact that you have on your joints and everything. So running is good, but for duration, you're not going to probably be able to keep it up, and it is very high impact.
Yeah, impact means this. When you run, both your feet are off the ground at any one time, which means you are tripling the force that your legs have to handle every time your feet hit the ground. So if you weigh 100 kilos, that's 300 kilos of force every time your foot hits the ground, multiplied by the number of steps over the time. It's huge. And if you don't normally run, what are you doing? Walking is the way to do it. If you want to do high intensity stuff, use the HiiP routines where we have, running, sprinting, jumping, all that sort of stuff, where you can maximize that. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is, remember, this is about burning fat. Can you do one, the other? How does it work to maximize?
I think you need to do both.
Yeah.
Really, ideally, you want to do both.
If you did not do any high intensity training, using weights, for example, you would lose muscle tone, muscle size, and muscle strength, which also will end up being a reduction in your metabolic rate.
That's right.
So you need less calories.
You need both. You need both. You want to be toned and taut, but you also want the cardio side as well. You need a bit of both. Yeah, because walking, you're not going to have a muscular, lean physique if you're just walking.
Look at the marathon runner, look at the sprint runner. You want a body that's somewhere in between that. And here, with these sort of routines, you can do this in a very, very short period of time. So that's our talk today on burn fat with HiiP and ELDT. If you have any questions,
put them in the comments down below and we'll answer them.
See you tomorrow for our next video. Bye, guys.